Just by way of sort of background, we have already voted to make the 76th Street beach, I believe, more accessible, and we've already voted to make the 63rd or 64th Street, I guess some people call it Allison Park Beach, more accessible. And our new lobbyist, out of the box, Cantons, was able to make some inroads with the Department of, I guess it's DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, and he thinks he may be able to get us some permission to do something similar to the exhibit on 21st and the Ocean during Art Basel, that sort of wooden steps that we're able to walk around. So that's good news. The only thing I wanted to sort of gauge the temperature from the Commission is that Sabrina envisions programming one or the other of these beaches with some type of way of people going from their wheelchair into a beach wheelchair. And the parking is a little limited at the beach on 63rd or 64th. There's more robust parking up in the north part of the city. And the way Sabrina explained it to me, which I think was eye-opening for me, she said, I'm not taking anything, well, first she said, listen, I just want to know where the Commission will be the happiest, and because I want everyone to like feel good about this, and all for one and one for all. She said that, but just so you know, I'm not taking, or making it accessible doesn't take anything away. It's kind of like where everyone wants to use the handicap bathroom, or where everyone wants to use the handicap parking spot. So just because we're going to make it a lot easier to get on the beach doesn't mean it's going to take anything away. So if there's plans for something in the future or whatever, it will just make the beach more accessible. But the programming element, which is the different surfboards and things to get people out there, and that's going to need to be at some beach with a lot of parking. And when we talked about the parking on 64th, a lot of the adjacent buildings park their cars there. So even when there's no one on the beach, the lot's full, and there's insufficient handicap spots. So just whichever beach you feel like is appropriate for the programming,
right,
so that Cantons and everybody knows where to focus.
I think that the Disability Committee requested specifically that the ADA beach be moved entirely to the 75th Street because, as you say, there was much more parking. I also think that our parking department should start changing the rules on the 64th Street parking lot so people can't park there overnight and use it as apartment, as assigned parking like for their apartment buildings. It's supposed to be open to the public. People go to the beach.
Right, and actually Sabrina and I had talked about the idea of expanding the handicap parking in the 64th Beach parking lot, but do it where it would be for the daytime hours, for the actual times in which the beach would be in use. So in the evenings, there would still be the same amount of parking as there would be any normal evening, except during... except during the days from, whatever it is, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or sun up to sundown, where we would have hybrid parking where it would be only handicap parking during the days. That's something that she and I had talked about because I liked the 64th Street beach for purposes of where we'd be focusing. And if the only hiccup is the parking, I think we can solve the parking issue. I think the central location and the accessibility to the rowing center and everything else that's going on at Mid-Beach, if it's just a parking issue, we can solve that. That was my takeaway from our meeting. I know Sabrina's here on the other side
Commissioner
of the
Whitehorn has some
comments.
Darkly
Commissioner
tinted.
Green, I actually agree because the reason why we didn't love the 70s was a couple of reasons. It's very narrow there, and if you go there in the morning, which I often do, between the runners and the rollerbladers and the bicyclists and the baby strollers and the dog walkers, the 64th is much wider with a circle, and I believe would ultimately be a safer environment for us all to coexist in. And I think we should fix the parking so that it is for beachgoers, because frankly, the fact that people in those buildings, I would prefer that we limit the number of hours you can consecutively park there.
No, we're doing that. We're doing that in a lot of places.
I know, and I think there's a lot of ways to fix the parking so that beach becomes, or that parking lot becomes useful for beachgoers, whether they be handicapped or not. And so all you would be doing is forcing us to fix the problem we should have fixed already. But I think that beach is built and made for your needs because it's so much bigger and so much more accessible. the problem with the 70s is that it's really narrow at that stretch, and I worry about all these incompatible uses.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with you, Commissioner.
Can we hear from Sabrina?
But more importantly, it's Sabrina's birthday.
It is,
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Sabrina.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, both locations are beautiful locations. Back and forth, we've looked at everything from parking to storage facilities, bathrooms on, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So on 64th Street, we already have the handicap bathrooms. However, 75th Street also provides for more room for expansion if the program is to grow and whatnot. So what I think we've talked about, particularly Commissioner Tobin and Commissioner Grieco, is, you know, could we start on 64th Street, get the parking issue resolved, you know, get the programming up, get a permit to put a trailer up on site so we could store all the beach chairs and the adaptive equipment that my foundation will be responsible for purchasing, and get the programming up and going.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Can we agree to add some handicap? When we talked about the parking lot, right now it has 4 handicaps, and I think we need to go to 12. And Sabrina sort of sketched out a design for that front row, and I talked to our handicapped accessibility expert, and she thought we could do it. We just eliminate
We'll
one
get it done.
spot.
We'll get it done.
So, and can we also help with the permitting so that the
And limiting of hours.
But, yeah, well, we've been talking about this, and we will get this done. It's what we've done in some other places, and it makes a great idea on doing that. We'll get that done.
okay?
I think Valeria also
Okay.
got some information about the parking. Is that important?
Whatever, well, it's important because I know that we were going to eliminate, but if the city manager's on board to make it happen, and the commission has said make it happen, he'll make it happen. So,
Yeah,
please.
Is this working? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. The study that I was making yesterday was that for every 7 standard parking spaces, 4 accessible parking spaces can be accommodated. So we would be losing 3 of the total count with the existing layout of the parking spaces.
That works.
I don't know if there are ways of expanding the. If we go to 64, there's a portion north of the restrooms on the planter area that I estimate could accommodate another about 18 spots. I don't know if there's a way of
So we'll take a
expanding or
look at
what's
that.
the
We'll take a
idea.
look, all
We'll
that.
take a look at it.
It could be a place for the trailer.
And also, I know that we had, when we did our handicapped accessibility, when we came out there with Sabrina,
That's where I go.
we put some people in chairs, and the chairs, one guy fell because the chairs were in such disrepair. So I know that the fire chief priced out some handicapped chairs.
Okay.
And I was hoping that we could purchase, I know they're relatively expensive, I don't know, but I think we ought to, instead of having the busted up chairs.
I think this is a project for Judy. There's always rent money. Judy's really good.
Yes.
We've met with her quite a few times.
Spend the money
She's
from
on
that
board.
easement.
Yeah?
Do
Okay.
we need to make a motion,
So we're
direction?
going
Or
to, well, the
is it
motion will be to help with the permitting.
Bring it to.
Okay, and
The
begin
motion will
on
be
60.
to add the handicapped
Okay.
parking spots. It'll
Begin
be
on
at
the
64th. It'll be at 64th for the programming.
Okay,
All right.
and we'll begin.
Is there anything else that we're forgetting?
Okay.
I guess we're forgetting Sabrina's birthday.
Oh, I already wished her happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone.
Is there a second? Do we need
Second,
to-
absolutely.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
Great, Sabrina.
Thank
Well,
you.
Congratulations,
Wait,
we're
thank
moving
you for your
forward.
birthday present.
One more thing,
One more thing,
Sabrina.
Mayor.
We'd
Thank
like
you.
to all wish you
Hey,
a
happy birthday.
You're gonna, I guess we'll deliver those. We'll have those delivered. We'll bring them to you at lunch or something.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Happy
Sabrina.
birthday. Thank you for doing this for the entire
Yes,
community.
Thank you.
thank
I'm
you very
looking
much.
forward to
It's
getting
going to be
some.
great.